What's up, everybody? This is your boy Hidden Angel Lionheart coming to you live once again with another YouTube video on Wartune Ultra. And yes, this is going to be another game update explaining some more of the mechanics I've been starting to figure out a little bit more of. And hopefully you guys have been enjoying the videos I've been uploading since here late within the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to get like 2 or 3. If I don't upload any for a little bit, I try to do like, you know how I normally do, like 2 or 3 or more at a time, but I've just been super limited here lately due to the fact of me with my job and things changing up, and the fact me and my fiance are now trying to get a house together where I think we're sold on it. However, we're still having to go through some paperwork and stuff, but aside from that, yeah, my life's been a little busy, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, so here's some stuff I wanted to talk about that I kinda left out in a sense. You know how in the blacksmithing they've pretty much set it up to where you can synthesize pretty much all your gear. You synthesize up to 60. They do not have level 70 sets as of yet. So you can only make the Sage, Magnus, Elemental, Lorekeeper, and the Gloryden set. If you're a mage, if it's for knights, I think 60 set is Wyvern, and if I remember correctly, 60 set for archer is the Elven crap. So there's that. And they also added the feature where a level 20 item can also socket up to 4 gear now, or not 4 gear. Ugh. Can socket up to 4 gems now, which they've never had that feature in the game to where you only could socket up to 3. Now you're able to socket up to 4. So here's also another thing I wanted to throw in there. They have upgrade. As you guys can see, you can upgrade your gear now instead of, okay, you guys, how you can see, as long as you have your level 40 piece, you can create your level 50. However, if you have your level 40 gear as an enchanted as a legendary, you can still craft it. So needless to say, you can even craft your own rings, your own jewelry. You do not even have to waste crypt tokens anymore like how we used to buy all our gear in the original game, well, when it was Hall of Heroes and even on the PC. You can upgrade and craft your gear that way instead of having to, yeah, see, as long as you have the level 40 pieces of the gear you need, once you hit 40, you're set. So once you hit 50 and up, you can start crafting your other gear, because even when you're at 60, same concept. Even if it's legendary, you can still synthesize it to where it can create into that said item. However, they added another feature, and this was something me and my buddy Light were talking about. Shout out to Light. And this is something that I actually wanted to mention in the game too, but I wasn't sure because of the crucial factor that I wasn't sure. So I wasn't wanting to throw that out there to get anybody's hopes up. But I'm gonna do this real quick to give an example. If you guys see how the max enchant is plus 40, right now my staff is plus 33, which, of course, well, yeah, I've been slacking, but in any case, that's not the point I'm trying to get at. Back in old Wartune, the original Wartune, not Hall of Heroes, not Reborn, etc., etc., all the new Wartune crap. The old Wartune from 7 Road, they came up with this mechanic to where when you synthesized into your next set of gear, you get to keep the level of the gear that it's at. Now, let me explain before you're just like, Puri, what are you talking about? Angel, Seth, what are you talking about? Lockie, Light. So, you see how my gear says 33 when it says level 40 is the maximum enchant? So, for level 50, your max enchant is 50. 60 is 60. Go freaking figure. Of course, the gold is going to increase on the rarity of the gear and so forth, so forth. So, they converted the enchantment system to where when you synthesize your set of gear into the next stage, you are able, because this is something that they did when you had your level 70 set, because of course you had to work your butt off for all your gear and craft it all individually, instead of how in the game they've now processed it to where you can upgrade this. This was a mechanic. Let me explain, because some of you kind of understand where I'm probably going to be going with this for all the older players, but the newer players are going to be like, what is this crackhead talking about? So if we go into where it says upgrade, level 70 gear, to create your level 80 gear, you had to have your 70 legendary set in order to create your level 80 legendary gear, because 80 gear was only legendary status, and the only way you could get that gear was months, if not a year or more, into farming for all of your legendary shards and your crystalloids to create your 70s gear and your legendary gear. So the point I'm trying to make is, when you converted your level 70 gear, you got your level 80 gear. Now in Hall of Heroes mobile, once you converted your 70 piece into 80, you had to enchant it all the way up to plus 36. Now, the old Wartune for 7 Road, and they still have this mechanic, when you synthesize it and convert it from 70 to 80 and synthesize it, you keep the enchant of that said gear. Now, how my gear says plus 33 of 40, if I were to synthesize my 40 gear into level 50, my gear will keep the plus enchantment of what it is. So instead of saying 33 of 40, it'll say 33 of 50. So 7 Road kind of gave us a slap on the wrist and decided to throw that little mechanic into here. So therefore, in Lament terms, it not only saves you gold process, but you only need 10 level 9 luck stones at a time. So, give or take, you need like, yeah, you have 8 pieces of gear, so you need like 80 level 9 luck stones altogether, and a crap ton of gold, might I mind you. So you're gonna be spending a crap ton of gold, and that's another thing I wanted to throw in here, and this was actually something a lot of the players on here and I have all been discussing about, to where 7 Road made this game a straight up grind, to where everything is going to take time upon time upon time. Like, it's ridiculous. So let me get into what I'm meaning. So like how, and but since I'm in a guild chamber, it's not going to do anything. But oh, there's my other buddy. That's funny. Like how me and Luffy was talking. Hang on a second. Oh, that was 2 minutes ago, and Luffy said that. Yeah, here's another thing. Like, how if you go into your farm, you're going to see I have gold seed, and I also have the insignia seeds, because we get those now. If you notice, there is something missing, and it's very crucial for those of you that played forever and you've experienced this. You know what I'm getting at. They're supposed to be Daru and Kainet. So, straight to the point, the game is literally straight up gold based. Everything is based around your gold. When it comes to increasing the level of your buildings, it's gold. When you want to increase your alchemy and stuff, it's gold. Increasing your troops, gold. Enlightening their stats to apply to you, you get the gist. It's all gold. So here's another thing. If the game itself is strictly based around gold, it's going to take months. Well, unless you cash like a mofo and you can get lucky in the mystery shop. No shots intended. No shots intended. So they've also made events to where even in the rebate and stuff, if you go down and you look in some of these, they have all kinds of events to where you can get gold. So, nonetheless, you're always going to have ways to get gold to upgrade your stuff. Sorry, buddy. And jewel upgrade, of course, we explained that in the earlier update video if you guys watched it. Sylph upgrade, of course, you're getting Sepulchrum and Advance for your upgradement and gold. Fashionable Rider, of course, regular event, you're getting clothes, stuff for mounts, stuff for other clothes. And Warlord Shield, you're getting gems, you're getting chests for all kinds of stuff. Gold chests, jewel selection, and you also have jewel shard. And of course, you have your soul crystals, and of course, you can exchange so many of the heroic shields to where you can get all the gold, sacks of gold. I, unfortunately, well, not so much unfortunately, invested a lot of my warlord shields to where I got the maximum you could get in your sack of gold. So, yeah, that was a must, though. And self-exchange, of course, you can't get gold sacks, but you can get either Hades, Apollo, or a regular rare Sylph as a rando. I'm sorry, guys, I'm doing this right now. And you can see they brought back the old magic shard exchange where you can exchange it for Lloyd's crystals or your legendary shards. And of course you have social media rewards, your pre-registration rewards. And that's going on for another couple of weeks where you can still get all kinds of gold. There's like 7, 9, 10. So that's about 5 million gold. So, or no, wait. Yeah, 5 million gold, easy right there you can get, because each sack of gold is 500,000. So 5 times 10 would be oh no, wait. In layman terms, such and such numbers creates 5 million. Like, I'm tired right now. I can't mental math. As simple as that sounds, of course, to the common individual, it's not that common for someone like me when you're just flat out exhausted and you can't think. Because I know I'm going to say the wrong number. You guys will be thinking, this guy is no mathematician. Well, I admit the fact I'm not a mathematician, so you guys can go screw yourselves. Anyway, and then, the next big thing is, oh right, would be well, I guess I could show you guys. Because even here, even shows, like, you don't have any sorts of kyanite, you don't have Daru, so everything is gold based, as I said. So I've pretty much maxed out everything with the gold, troops, stats, my own personal stats from my mage, and of course, all my buildings are maxed out until 50. Oh, and here is the other mechanic they added into this game, and they took away. And if you guys noticed in the video before this, if you guys end up watching the Catacombs video, you're going to notice a little bit of a change. So, if we go into our skills, so we have all these, you guys have seen, you have the 6th skill slot and all this, and you're going off of, well, yeah, that. Realms, not a change. Realms, still the same. Not so much of a change here. Talents. Now. I'm sorry, buddy, but no. They have what is called the talent tree. Not skills, but talents. They completely took away the Holy Seal to wear. If you guys remember it, I know all you guys can recall this. The Holy Seal, which was used to stun people as soon as you hit level 50. They took away the stun mechanic, and they added in this whole brand new mechanic called the talent tree. And what it does is you rank up your talent Holy Seal to where your learning points for talent points to where you're adding on to get more stats for your character itself. So therefore, Perseverance for Mage, immune to damage from the next attack and restores health equal to 10% of the damage received. So each of these skill trees do something different. So right here is the Perseverance skill tree. Right here is the Vigor skill tree, in which case this decreases the skill CD by 50%, meaning your personal skills, which is what you guys saw me use to reduce the rage of my Delphic and my Thunderer, and rage consumption by 10%. So, yeah, this is a little wonky for sure. And then you have what is the Focus talent. And this one focuses on your block and your crit, and it lasts for 3 turns, which is absolutely redonkulous. As you guys can see, there's all these other different skills you can apply. And I know some of you guys recognize these from the old skill tree, and all of these are combatant towards your own personal skills. So, if we go back to here, the Perseverance skill tree focuses on the defensive stats, and even you have your physical defense and magic defense. You have more physical defense to where it increases it by percentage, not just by the number. Then you have magic defense percentage, which goes up by the percentage, just like Refined Goddess Blessing increases your defense by a certain percentage and not just by the numbers. And then after you reach a certain level amount with these skills, you can also apply them to your main skills. So this one focuses around your Restoration, Meteor, and your Delphic. So for the Restoration boost, it increases the healing effect by 5%. So I'm going to go on a limb and assume it's 5% each time it levels up, or it's going to be a 1% like how it normally has been for some of the other skills. But you need your certain talent, certain talent reached level 10, then you need your physical and magic defense percentages increased by level 2. So you're going to need both the magic and physical defensive talent trees to be level 10, these to be 2, so that way Restoration can get its healing effect bonus. And then once your talent has reached level 20, main ones of course, and your Restoration boost hits level 1, your Delphic Thunder will have a negative -3% on its cooldown CD. Same with Meteor, same concept, and Meteor drops by 1%. So, or not by 1%, but by 1. So, and the Vigor skill set tree focuses on your attack, health, attack percentage, and your health percentage. And then once those reach a certain point, Lightning Bolt, Thunder, and your Purification, Lightning Bolt gets +1 for rage, and then you get a damage percentage by +2. So this would probably be the one I would go for, but since I like to focus on a tank setup, and I plan on getting Meteor at some point, I was wanting to focus on this one for right now, because when you go to reset your points, and this is another thing you want to pay attention to, you have to... Holy crap, last time I did this, it said I had to reset... wait, no. Because something else, it said I had to invest gold. Or not gold, but, balance. And I'm just like, hold up a second. So I must have misread that, because it was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when I was out door dashing with my fiance and our friend Justin. So that was an interesting night. So, in which case, yeah, Lightning Bolt gets a big plus. Thunder has a 3% chance to cause a 0 rage cost for the rest of Thunder. So Thunder can keep hitting and hitting and hitting if you get lucky with that 3%. And of course, it'll increase the higher it goes in limit terms. And then Purification boost increases the target's awakening points by 50. Holy crap. Now, that is wild. Considering the fact you're purifying you and your whole team, your freaking rage, or no, your awakening points for your Sylphs will give you and your whole party a whole plus 50. So that's wow. That is a major wow. I can't complain on that note. That's actually pretty good. So yeah, I think 7 Rogue pretty much broke Mage, because mages and knights were always the favorites, and archers were kind of shat on. But then at one point, knights and archers were the favorites, and mages got shat on. But they pretty much brought back to where mages are the thing. So the focus skill tree focuses on your critical, of course, critical, block, crit value percentage, and your block percentage. And then your rain of fire, target loses health of 5% of magic damage, lasts for 2 so it puts a dot on there. It puts a damage overtime for 3 rounds. Anyway, it stacks up to 3, and it lasts 2 rounds. So the more you keep using rain of fire, since it's CD reset is literally like 2 seconds, you can keep stacking and stacking and stacking to the point it's ridiculous. Damnation boost reduces the target's awake. Ew. So that's pretty much a steel wind on the downside, to where instead of taking away 500, it's 100. But of course, the higher that goes, I'm sure it's going to take away more rage from said person. That's actually really stupid good. I'm not going to lie. And then the Suntoria enhancement is... oh, so we all get 2 extra rage, so that's actually pretty good too. These are all good skill trees, I'm not gonna lie. So they pretty much took away the stun mechanic, and we're pretty much upgrading the old stats that was on the Holy Seal tree with the talents. Instead of upgrading the stun, you're upgrading the talents individually, and you're upgrading the skill, your personal skills themselves. This is going to be a whole new thing, to where everybody's going to have to get real tactical with it, depending what skill tree you want to run off of. And also, just like in skills, you have your 2 skill trees. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little switching up with these skills here. So yeah, that's gonna have to happen at some point, or I get to like level 56 or whatever, and I've finalized the passives with the healing tree. And I know this one, actually no, 58, so that way I can actually get that with these maxed out. That one will be next to be getting maxed out, but I'll have to increase restoration and lightning bolt some more, so somewhere around the 60s this skill tree will pretty much be finished off. Excuse me, I'm dying. Not literally, metaphorically speaking. So in the skill tree itself, just the whole fact all these are at +5 now, it just mind boggles me, because it used to be so simple, because certain skills were allowed to go up to +5, +3, etc., etc. Thunder was a +3. Delphic Health Thunder was 2. It's probably 5. I'm going to go on a limb and assume that's what this is as well, which is absolutely ridiculous if that's the case. And yeah, my battle rating is like 60,000 right now, so I'm close to breaking 100,000, but that's going to take a while yet, even for me. But yeah, this was something I was wanting to talk to you guys about. So even here with the talent help, it explains talent points can be freely assigned of any skills. Raise your talents to level up each of the talent points. Then spend balance or bound balance to reset. Okay, I was right. But XP and gold lost upgrades cannot be regained. So therefore, I was right. You do have to spend balance or bound balance on this. But I don't know when that applies. So that is going to be the a tricky business for whoever decides to play whatever class you decide. And right now, mounts are pretty... oh, wait, I hit the wrong thing. Mounts are going to be probably the hardest thing to get in the game, and I'm also, if you guys see, I've not really, I have not started upgrading this much, in which case other people have been maxing out their stables and stuff. I'm just waiting for the mount event to where I can like abuse it to where I can get more stuff from it, because I'm not wanting to spend an arm and a leg to get all of what I want. You know what I mean? Like, only put enough in here to where you clear a part of certain event and then wait. Apply to the next day. Wait, apply the next day. Just like I used to do it back in Hall of Heroes, or how everybody used to do it. Because I think the maximum amount for whips you had to have, I think, was like 3,000 to 6,000 whips a day used. I could be wrong. I think 3,000 was the max. And I had whips for days. If you guys recall, I had like over 30,000, 40,000 whips saved up, if more. So I was Gucci always when it came to the mount whips. So yeah, and right now my stables kind of suck right now. I only have like a few magical mounts. They're like normal mounts, so I don't have anything too crazy. And stupid me got lazy. I didn't get the King Kong mount that you get for the first 7 days of playing the game, and then the next 7 you get the Scarlet gear. I was lazy. I didn't get the last 3 points that I needed, and yeah, so that happened. So, and the only other way to get your mounts is pretty much through the shop at the wishing well or the wishing fountain. So, Mount Wish, you can't get that, but you can spend to get all of the crazy good mounts, and you're spending an arm and a leg of balance worth to get everything. So, there's like 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 38 different mounts in the golden section. And then for the regular mounts, you have 5, 10, 15, 25, 32. So, roughly around, well, I don't know, because even here, you have these ones, and then if you look in here, okay, yeah, so about like 50, 60 some mounts, if that, or more, until 7 Road decides to add more. So the only way to get mounts, crucially, for right now, is to invest an arm and a leg worth of balance into this, which is absolutely retarded, I'm not gonna lie. So, however you guys decide to do this is entirely up to you. And another thing they decided to do is, I think the last thing I did want to cover was Sylphs, I think. Because even right here, even I've got all my Sylphs right now, so the main ones at least. The only advanced one I got was Apollo, because the 7 Roads being cheap to where you can only get either Hades or Apollo for right now, so I just chose Apollo because Apollo is pretty much how he was in the OG 2015 Wartune to 7 Road PC, to where he was the numero uno, top tier, top dog of them all. And yeah, I've not done any of his enchanting because I'm waiting for a Sepulchrum event. So, and here's the thing I wanted to talk about was the skills. So all the skills are kind of different right now because each of them kind of got nerfed. Blazing Strike deals 170% magic damage, random front row enemy. Beam Sword. And then the other ones like Heavenly Body. Instead of giving you, if you guys remember, Heavenly Body was that skill to where it gave you a plus 30% resistance towards physical and magic-based attacks. Instead, it dispels a debuff and restores 10% of your max health for 3 rounds. And then this new one, Illumination, it basically gives you 30 extra awakening points for your whole Sylph team that you're with your party. Helios Blessing, you gain a shield that absorbs damage equal to 20% of your max health, and become immune to crits for 3 rounds, which is absolutely BS. And then the last one, Holy Vow, you restore 20% of your max health and yourself dispels 2 debuffs and increases your block rate by 30%. So if you wanted to go a full heal build with your Apollo, that's fine and dandy. I like my attacks. And here's even some of the things. Light Arrow kind of got a nerf because it never had the crit rate bonus. Enhanced Delphic. Now, tell me how this makes sense. Delphic deals this crazy amount of damage and increases your damage dealt by 30% for 3 turns. Impaling Light does 450. Now, tell me how a regular skill does more than the Delphic, because the Delphic always dealt the most. And, of course, Impaling Light cannot be blocked. Light Creation Magic Impalement. There's a joke there if you guys caught on to that. And, yeah, and you deal magic damage to all your enemies, restores 5% of your max health. So they kept that, but I think they nerfed it because the old Ray, I think, did like 10%. I could be wrong. It might be 5. And then Divine Prayer, where it used to give a damage buff to your opponents, it basically took that away. They nerfed it to where it dispels a buff from them and decreases their damage dealt by 20% for 3 turns. So, therefore, you nerf the skill. Instead of boosting them for damage, you basically put it to where it nerfs them to where they deal 20% less damage for so many rounds, which is absolutely BS. But that's another thing. A lot of these Sylphs got nerfed for some of their skills. Even Eve isn't even on par to what it's supposed to. Because even it's Delphic, like electric damage to 2 random enemies. This used to deal only single amount, so even Eve's skills got added up to where she can hit multiple targets instead of one at a time. So the Delphic and the Shock Chain both can hit two enemies, and they deal certain amount of buffs. Short Circuit hits multiple people, and Thunderstrike is the only single hit from what I'm seeing, and dispels 1 from a target. And Flash Storm also hits all enemies with magic damage. So, and then it increases your crit rate. And of course, Static Field, yeah, that's some BS right there. Then your crit rate is 15, and your crit rate for 5 turns stacks up to 3 times. They nerfed a lot of these, because if you guys remember, even Eve was one of the most overpowered starter Sylphs, and they nerfed all her skills for the most part. And if we go into if we go into the skill stock, Thunderstrike, yeah, okay. Roll of Thunder, that was also another popular one. Random enemy and gains a charged effect, whatever that is. Jupiter's Wrath, deal 100% magic damage to a random enemy and gets an electric effect, to where increases your crit rate by 20% for 3 rounds and stackable up to 3 times. So, and Jupiter's Wrath used to block the ability to use a skill on your opponent. They nerfed that, and you can't even use that anymore. And Razor is your passive. When dealing crit damage, increase your awakening points by 50. And I thought about using that, and I thought about maybe switching out Razor for Static Field, or switching out Static Field for Razor, because this is some BS from what the game devs did. They really, 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 really nerfed the frick out of all these Sylphs. It's ridiculous. Like, even Hades is nerfed, and he's like crap right now. I mean, some people are using him, but not very many. Apollo more so than Hades, because Apollo has like 2-3 heal skills, where Hades only has 1, which doesn't make any sense because Hades used to always only have the 1 heal skill. But I think it was his strength that got nerfed. There's some people that figured out how to make Hades good, but unless you cash like a mofo to make him and raise his stats a crap ton, and you get the right Sylph gear, frickin' he's garbage, which is absolutely redonkulous, because Hades used to be the most terrified Sylph to go up against normally. And then, okay, so you have this, and increases your crit rate and your crit damage by 30%. And Thunder Abulsion generates a shield 20% max health for yourself, increases damage dealt by 25%. So, that was another skill that got nerfed. Now, let's take a look at Amazon, because I've not really looked at her, Pan, or Iris. So, Amazon Queen, Burning Strike. Okay, that's a normal. 100% damage to 2. Okay, well, that's kind of the same still. And then deal 400% physical damage to random and dispels 2 buffs. Okay, that did not used to exist. And then Scorching Shield, 15% chance to increase damage dealt by 30% when taking damage lasts 3 turns. So, let's go into skill stocks. Consuming Flames, deal 100% fire damage to an enemy in front of the inflict a burn effect. And it receives 40% damage when taking action, lasting 3 turns. It's stackable up to 5. Now, here's another one that used to always be picked. Infernal Inflammation, deals 140% damage to random enemy. Molten Armor effect. Molten Armor increases damage taken by 10% for 3 turns. Okay, so that one's kind of the same. Devouring Lava, also one that's always been a key factor. Deal 230% fire physical damage to enemies in front row and inflicts a Molten Armor effect. Molten Armor increases damage taken by 10% for 3 rounds. Okay, so basically what I'm getting at, this Molten Armor basically increases the damage taken by 10% for 3 turns, and it's stackable. So Molten Armor must apply to all the skills that have this effect, to where you're putting a dot on the enemy and you're consistently dealing damage to them for 3 turns, to where once it stacks up to its certain stack, it lasts that many turns. So even though it says it lasts 3 turns, once it stacks up to 3, you're basically getting 5 turns in with it. It's what I'm getting at. Okay, and Blistering Flame. Same okay. So deals 220% fire physical damage to a random enemy and inflicts a burn effect. Well, Molten Armor Burn receives 40% physical damage when taking action, lasting 3 turns and stackable up to 5 times. Okay. Spirit of Fire Mastery, damage dealt plus 7%. Okay, so that's a must. And then 50% chance to increase awakening points by 50 when taking... Oh, so it's pretty much the opposite effect. When Eve deals critical damage, you get 50 awakening points, but when you take damage, you have a 50% chance to get 50 awakening points added to you. So it's a matter of what is best. So you can either take the damage and get awakening points, and then you can deal crit damage to get awakening points. So they found a way also to create a factor to where every Sylph, almost it seems like, can keep rage and keep gaining awakening points. Well, not so much rage. Awakening points to where you will never de-Sylph, almost, if you're lucky. And you can just using Sylph attacks, which is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, and then Firestorm, deal 145% physical fire damage to all enemies and inflict your burn effect. Molten Armor, yada yada yada. Burn received. Okay, so, yeah, that's another thing. Now, Vulcan's Blessing, which is also another one that got used a lot. Dispel 2 debuffs and increase your damage dealt by 30%. Oh, okay, so pretty much your fire self, you're constantly dealing damage as you're increasing yourself to where you're basically just a big freaking beef stick. Or beat stick for the most part. So that's what I'm getting at. Fire self is pretty much a beat stick self. So if you're a mage or if you're just a physical class and you just want to stay physical, this is definitely the self for you. Restore 30% of max health, reduces damage received by 25%. Oh, okay. So if you're wanting to avoid taking heavy damage, then you use that. But there's all sorts of ways you can build this Sylph. It's ridiculous. Now, back to my boy, Pan. Oh, what have they done to you, my good fellow? Okay, so deal 220% damage to all enemies. Dispels 1 buff from all targets. Dispels 1 buff from a set of targets. And then deal 165% when damaged up to 2 random enemies, then dispel. Oh, okay, so you're dispelling buffs from people. So he's basically an archer on crack. That's pretty wild, actually. Wind Sylph is definitely the best class. Well, best Sylph if you're wanting to troll people. Everything I've read, it's dispel a debuff, dispel a buff, dispel a buff, dispel a buff. Not a debuff, but a buff. So when Sylph is pretty much OP right now. So when attacked, there's a 10% chance to increase your block rate by 30%. Okay, so that's always been a thing. So, for the most part. So, your skill stock, Breeze Blade. Oh my gosh, this is freaking hilarious. This is basically an archer on crack. Is a wind Sylph. This is freaking wild. I should have went with Pan. Because this is freaking retarded. When taking action, increase the block rate by 10%. Okay, that's a thing. Block rate. When you block damage, increase your awakening points by 20. Okay. You're constantly debuffing people. That is freaking wild. You are dispelling their buffs. That is dirty. This Sylph is freaking dirty. Pan is... I'm gonna have to say, I can't believe I'm hearing myself say this, but Pan is a dirtbag right now. Alright, so Windcrest. Reduce all teammates' damage received by 30%. Okay, so this would be something if you were a knight, honestly. 30% increase your block rate by 30, and increase your block rate. Okay. Yeah, so this is definitely a Sylph you'd want to use if you're going to be free to play as a knight, so to speak, or an archer, and you just want to troll people immensely. Steal, of course, you kept the damage, and then you steal 500 awakening points from the enemies and from all teammates. You're stealing from the enemy to give you and your team 500 awakening points. Decrease damage taken by 30% for 30 turns. Undispellable. Increase all teammates' damage by 30%. Okay, so the last one is Iris. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine what they did to her. Oh my gosh. Oh. Dispels a debuff. Okay. Dispels a buff from a target. So you dispel debuffs from yourself and you dispel buffs from people. That is absolutely freaking retarded. Like, I don't really like to use that word, but that literally defines how stupid they've made this. You're dispelling a debuff. Okay, that was one action reduce top. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's still the same. That's still the same. Oh, that's new. So you get 5% of your own health restored for 3 turns. So that's a plus. Master of Wage, damage received by 7%. Increase your awakening point. Decrease rate by 25 points every 3 seconds after. Oh. 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 So you got 4 different passives to contemplate yourself with. And then Tsunami, yada yada yada, dispel 1 debuff from teammate. Okay, so this one pretty much takes away the debuffs that's on you and your team. Okay, so they pretty much made Iris another tank setup. A healing tank for the most part that debuffs you and your teammate, dispels the debuffs and dispels buffs. Well, with their Delphic, of course. So yeah. The yada 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 generate a damage absorption shield for a front row teammate to absorb damage equal to 30% of target's max health last 3 turns. Oh, so that would work well if I had used Iris. If Iris was my main Sylph and I'd used that on Esdeath or Archer earlier, then they would have lasted a long time and took a lot of damage. That's ridiculous. That's their Aggron shield on steroids. Then deal 300% water damage to the enemy with the lowest health percentage. Okay, so there's that. Okay, my phone's about to die, so I need to get this on the charger here soon. 20% health with no quit for 3 damage. And then lastly, enable all teammates to dodge a deadly strike and it lasts 3 turns. That's absolutely freaking wild. So everything's pretty much the same still. You're still spending an arm and a leg of gold, 5 million gold to refine them. You need your star tiers and then your crap ton of star sands, plus the divinity shards, which is 500. So that is what it is on that note, guys. Well, there's all of this. Well, thank you, Kaiba. Oh, she really likes my mount. Well, that's actually pretty nice of you. Thank you. Thank you, Kaiba. You're actually pretty nice. Thank you. And, yeah. That was actually pretty nice of her. And then you had him, of course, being him. Nope. Making another update. Huh. Alright guys, so I think that's it pretty much for this video. I pretty much showed you guys the blacksmith with the gear. Oh, and another thing with the astrals, it's just like on test. So they only have legendary and rare astrals right now you can equip, plus your common and uncommon astrals, like the green, blue. Green is uncommon, blue's common, purple's rare, this is your legendary. So, and the only red astral they have is the Inner Giant, which gives you 500 extra experience towards ranking up your astrals a little more. So, this is pretty much all they got for right now. So, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the video. And also, Transcend is a level 10 guild. We are ranked 13 right now overall. We are needing more candidates, for the most part, that are actually wanting to progress this guild and make sure this guild is running in a ongoing manner. Branch, you are slacking, and I'm sure people are going to start complaining about you. Airy 2 days. Yeah, and that's another thing everybody's going to be paying attention, is people not logging in very much. So, for right now, the game is still fairly new. Everybody's still logging in for the... Oh, boy, Delicious, you're almost a week off. You, sir, are also 2 days without being logged on. So, hopefully you guys didn't just hightail to another server. Okay, May, we'll accept you. Okay, well, everybody sees this. I just welcome May and so forth. And also, I'm still trying to figure out how my... I was ranked 41 in Charm. Now, I just got dropped down to 42. So I'm just like... You know, I'm trying to figure this out. How did I go... I know I'm fairly popular with you guys. I'm still trying to figure out how nobody really sends me roses. I mean, I'm not really complaining. It's like everybody else wants to be in the top 10 for most charming. But the fact I do help out when I'm not at work. I do help out. I talk a lot. I'm very friendly. I'm very civil with people for the most part if there's any disagreements or whatever, and I stand up for you or whatever. But there's that. And honor, I'm sucking in that right now. Guild BR and guild level, we're getting up there, but we definitely need more players that are more willing to contribute for the most part. And then here's all of our top people for right now. And only like the top, in technicality, like the top 20, 30 people are like, actually no, yeah, the top 20 people are 25 are like in the 100,000 BR range. I know they're under 100, but within a couple of days they will reach 100,000 BR, which is ridiculous. And we're trying to get up there with everybody else. Everybody else is pretty much all level 10, except for the guilds that's like under the ranking. Yeah, that's not good. So, yep. And of course, my player level is going to suck right now because I'm camping to raise up my talents, as you guys can see. As you guys see as well, I told you, there's only like a couple people using Hades. Death's Harvest. Okay, so that one does that. Huh! So only Hades has that damage perk. That's freaking retarded. Oh, jeez, I should have went with Hades. I regret my choice now. Restores 50% of max health. Okay, yes, I was right. Oh, okay then. Then a Devil's Gaze, of course. Yada, yada, yada. Oh. So they took away the effect where when it hits your opponent, they lose a 50% healing. Or so much healing. They took that away, so they did nerf him. Dispels one buff and reduces target's awake. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Upon the awakening point. Well, guys, there you have it. And there is the proof right there. Hades got immensely nerfed, in which case, I guess I take back what I said. I made a good choice investing into Apollo. Hades literally got shat on, guys. That's just really sad, because Hades used to be the most op Sylph, if everybody remembers. But it is what it is. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Did I do good? Did I do bad? Did I not do good? What is it you guys want to see me do the most of? The 7-day login, I'll have my full Scarlet set tomorrow. I will be happy because it is a real pretty set, and I'll probably be maining that for a while once I got everything. But, I'm still slowly growing. I'm still slowly getting there. And for my campaign, I'm just gonna blitz, do this, do that, and yeah, I'm probably just gonna call it a night because it's late. Oh shoot, yeah, it's really late. So I'm gonna hop off here. You guys take it easy, be safe. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. This is Purifier Sephra, aka Hidden Angel Lionheart of YouTube, the OG Wartune YouTuber from Hall of Heroes. Signing off on server 26, Eastern server 26 of Wartune Ultra. Guildmaster of Transcend Guild, you guys take it easy, be safe, and ignore that Twitter post because I get all kinds of stuff that's absolutely retarded on that too. Literally people are just stupid on Twitter, or X as they call it. But until next video, guys, take it easy, be safe. Let me know what you think. Any ideas on videos you want to see me do more of? I am planning on doing some Battleground videos here soon. So, hang tight. I will be displaying just how much of a bod arse I can be in the Battlegrounds. So, till next video, guys, take it easy. And this is your boy, signing out. Later.